Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino. I am officially your host. Tonight I got two really special people with me. I got Carol Ringler and I got Brian Daniels. They are with the Constellation Fishing
For a cure.
for Cure. Who wants to start off by telling us a little bit how this all got started? It's such a great organization and a great event that you put on. I've heard nothing but rave things about it. So why don't you tell us how this all started?
Well, in 2001, we started thinking about an idea that we would come up at Braidwood Station for a signature event. We needed to try something different, and there was our site communicator and the facilities manager saw me one day, and they asked me what they thought about doing a fishing tournament for charity. And I said, I'm in, I like to fish. So I got a couple of the guys from our shop together, and one of my friends, Mike, who has been there right since the beginning with myself, his son was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at that time. And I told Mike, I'm like, they're wanting to do this charity event, and there was the lady that was starting it with, her name was Jan, and Neil Miller was the site communicator. Her niece had passed away from bacterial meningitis, so that's what we were going to do for the first one.
Nice.
And I told Mike, I'm like, let's help these guys out. Maybe in the future we can get cystic fibrosis in there. At that same time, my daughter was 2.5 years old, and she was battling a seizure disorder. And she passed away that October of 2001.
I'm so sorry.
And so I had helped the company out with the employee giving campaign. I figured this is a way to give back to the people who need it, and maybe one day we would honor my daughter in the future.
Right.
So that's how it kind of got started.
It's an amazing thing what you're doing. It really, your benefit helps so many organizations. I know we were just at the Braidwood facility, and I could not believe how enormous that place is.
It's big.
It just goes, and goes.
Yep.
I mean, it's an amazing thing. How did you come up with the idea of using fishing, though? Was that because you like fishing?
Well, that was because we have a huge cooling lake out there that we cool our water with for the nuclear plant. And around when 9/11 happened, they shut down the lake because of security, and that's when a lot of security measures came in. And so we were getting ready to reopen the lake, and that was something. We have a very good conservation program out there, and big bass out there.
I was going to ask you.
And that's
what
how
kind of fish are out there?
Oh, it's
Catfish and bass,
catfish
yeah.
and largemouth bass is what the tournament is mainly for. So that's what kind of popped in there, and so why not utilize that, not knowing if we were going to be successful in the future, and it took off.
Are you a fisherman?
My dad did teach me to fish, but it's been quite a few years since I have fished. But I do enjoy it.
Give us some insight of what a typical event for this fishing extravaganza. What does it involve? I mean,
Well, it does involve a lot of planning, and we count on a lot of help from our vendors, a lot of local businesses, and they've been so generous throughout the years helping us, because 100% of all money raised for it goes to the charity. Constellation pays every dollar. So
that's great.
we are very proud to say that all money raised goes directly
Well, you're
to...
sponsoring Canine
Yes.
too, which has been a total gift to us.
Mm-hmm.
We can't thank you enough for supporting our veterans. We couldn't do what we do without the help like we're getting from your organization. You know, you guys are just so gracious in what you're doing for our veterans. So, thank you. So, how does the day start out?
Oh, so it starts out at about getting up at 3 a.m. at my house, and then heading over to the station, and then we got a trailer now. It's very professional. So we have a trailer set up with all of our equipment in there, and we stop and get the trailer. We head over. Carol's normally there with her husband Chad, and they're doing the registration. So we got boats lined up. So we take the trailer in, and we start bringing the boats in. So we can get up to 100 boats.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll be bringing those in and getting those guys out there. So
You got that many participants?
we've had up to 100 100 people.
Wow.
COVID slowed us down a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
great.
say last year we probably had about 70 boats, and we are sure hoping this year
Yeah.
100 boats.
So are
That's
we.
our goal. That's our goal. The more boats, the more money for canines.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
right.
there's
Well,
steam coming off of the water in the morning, and
and when is that event for?
that
April 12th.
Yeah.
April 12th.
Yes.
Yep.
Saturday.
So, yeah, we're really looking forward to that. We're going to help you in any way we can because, again, what you're doing for us, I can't begin to tell you. You're changing the lives of so many veterans that we wouldn't be able to do what we do for them without the help we're getting from you.
We're
So
beyond
you are helping
thrilled.
to change the life of a veteran.
Brian should explain. So it's not just an adult fishing tournament, but after the boats go out onto the lake, the volunteers all go to Godley Park District, which is about 2 miles, 5 miles,
right down the road.
from the lake where the adults are fishing, and we host a kids fishing
Really?
derby,
Yep.
and
That is really cool.
Yeah, the week before we stock it with a bunch of catfish,
500 pounds.
500 pounds of catfish,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
rope it
Yeah.
off so
Yeah.
nobody can get in there,
Right.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, we have.
The kids have to love that.
Oh my gosh,
That's
they-
going to be huge.
They have a ball, and there's prizes. They can win fishing poles, little tackle boxes.
And
there-
you, Constellation, does all that.
Yes, yes. And there's a gentleman,
Wow.
I have to say this, Chauncey with ESPN. He hosts this every year. He makes this tournament just so much fun. The kids, oh my gosh,
Oh, they have
love
to-
him,
Yep.
and he just has a ball with it, and he everyone has just such a great time.
You guys should really be proud of girls and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Really proud of what you're doing because you are helping not only our Canine for Veterans, but other organizations that really need that help
Right.
because it's hard out there. You know, money's tight. People aren't giving like they used to. So if we didn't have help like we're getting from you or these other organizations, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. So thank you for what you're doing. How do you? Who coordinates all this?
There's a team of probably, I would say about, it's growing a little bit, but it's about 7 core people. And this year it's grew to about 15 people. We're always asking for, people to help up with like thinking of ways to fundraise
Right.
and reaching out to different businesses asking for raffle prizes, or it's actually not a raffle, it's a silent auction. Going to their local restaurants asking for gift cards. So that phrase that it takes a village, it does take a lot of people.
I could imagine. If somebody wanted to, and we'll do this in the closing too, but if somebody wanted to help and volunteer, how would they do that? Who would they?
You can contact myself, Carol Ringler. My email address is carol.ringler, RINGLER, @constellation.com, or my work number, 815-417-3755.
If you're out there and you're looking for an amazing organization to participate to help them with these events, do them a favor, give them a call because it's a great organization that's doing an amazing thing for a lot of people. So that's good to know. How long have you been doing this again?
2002 was our first year.
2002.
So it'll be our 24th annual event. We did have a 2-year break due to COVID, but so this will be our 24th year in 2005, and we've raised $906,000 to various charities, 22 different charities.
Wow.
And we are really making a push to reach that $1 million mark, helping out Canine for Veterans. And that being like
All that could do is put a smile on my face.
yes, that's
Now,
our goal.
you do other things too. I see on the list that it was a golf outing.
Yes, we've got a group. It's called CMAC, which doesn't mean much to if you're not in the power plant. You probably don't. It's an acronym, but it's a group of people. They don't have to be veterans, but they help veteran organizations. This will be their 4th annual golf outing. They've raised $80,000.
I know.
80,000. They sponsored last year 14 individuals for the Honor Flight Chicago, and I think 2 or 3 veterans from the plant went with them. They said, what a experience.
When I go to the honor flight and I see these veterans coming off that plane, they just have that look like finally somebody
Right.
appreciates what I did. And that trip means so much to them. It really does, So thank God what you're doing for our veterans too, and for all the charities that you sponsor. I also seen there was you do the honor flight and then you do blood drives.
Yeah, they host quarterly blood drives. They think this is our second annual 5K, and it is a big deal in the city of Braidwood. They've got people coming from all.
Tell us about the 5K.
I actually have never been there, but our Ryan Dodge, who works in our plant, organized it. He is a Navy veteran.
Yep.
And he hosts the 5K, and it's a sanctioned run with the racing organization. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly who sponsors it, but it's timed. It's a professionally run.
God, I can't believe all the different things you're doing to raise money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this weekend they're doing the Reese across America. Is that what it's called? Do you do that in Elwood?
In Elwood, they do that.
Yeah,
they put the wreaths there.
Yeah, they're doing that this weekend.
We have our memorial, the Forgotten Warrior Memorial, located in Shanahan State Park.
Yep.
It's for veterans who committed suicide because of their PTSD. Having to add a name to that memorial, it's a heartbreaker. It really is. We shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
We lose, as you know, 22 veterans a day, and actually the number's higher, but they'll never get away from that 22 because it's so recognized with PTSD. Mm-hmm. And it means so much to the families, that they have that memorial there. And by what you're doing to help our veterans, you're saving a life. You really are. By giving these service dogs to a veteran, you are literally saving. I've always asked, who adopted who? Did the dog adopt the veteran? Did the veteran adopt the dog?
Sure.
And again, I call it the gift that keeps on giving because it really helps our veterans get through the day. Resources. What resources would mostly help you to pull off these events? What just raffle baskets, monetary donations?
Monetary donations is the big one, but also auction prices, prizes. We'll be having that mid-February. So any donations from any restaurants, stores, anything that the employees could bid on and raise that money.
Carol, that must keep you busy.
It does. It keeps me up at night.
I'm telling you, thinking about I know when we have an event, I'm the same way. It's like, oh shit, what do I got to do next? So thank you for what you're doing for us and for other organizations. Bryan, you had mentioned earlier out there that you're not an employee of the...
Yeah, I'm an inactive employee. I started at Commonwealth Edison back in the old days in 1990, and I worked at a coal station. And then in 1994, I transferred over to Braidwood, and I was there until 2021, where I took an inactive role, and I had the opportunity to go work for International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers as a business rep. And so I'm here as a volunteer. I'm not here representing Constellation, and I'm not here representing the IBEW, but I'm here as a volunteer.
You're
Started this thing out, and I'll be there till it ends.
Yes, he is
They're lucky to have you.
100%.
They really are. They're lucky to have you. What are some of your biggest challenges that you face, whether it's a golf outing, the blood drive, whether it's the fishing tournament? What do you think your biggest...
I'll tell you what lately has been our challenge, and since COVID, is getting fishermen out there, trying to fill our maximum 100 spots up. I think that just after COVID, it just slowed down. So if we can get the
How do
word
you
out.
reach out to them to get them? Do you go to the fishing stores?
There's a bunch of local clubs kind of get the word out. We put flyers up
At the boat launches.
in the Bass Pro Shop and stuff like that. But word of mouth, the Chauncey does broadcast to promote it as well.
On ESPN.
Yeah,
And
ESPN
the
radio.
people that have participated in the years past, we keep their address, so we send them the entry
Right.
form. So we do have a lot of repeat fishermen that have done it in the past. And we try to use social media, our own personal
Right.
social media, to encourage.
But if the more boats we get, the more money we can bring in. So that's why.
Let's get those
if
boats
we can
coming
get
in.
people
Yes.
out there to want to come out and fish in a professional bass tournament, come on out and what's
We
the
should.
prizes they could end up winning?
So we have 10 prizes, and the first prize is $4,000.
Whoa.
Yes, so-
Nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
yes. It's
That'd give you some incentive to get out there.
Yes.
Now, how do they choose? By the size of the fish?
We have they can weigh up to 3 fish. So this is a very professional. We got a professional scale up there. I've been fortunate enough to be up there to help weigh the fish through all the years. So 3 fish, they have to be at least 15 inches long. So we have to make sure that they're that long. And then weigh the 3 fish, and the heaviest weight of the 3 fish will win the tournament.
So if a fish is 16 inches, that works.
That works.
And if it weighs X amount of pounds, then they total all 3 of those together.
That's correct.
And whoever has the most weight. What about the length?
The length doesn't matter as long as it's over. If it's
Okay,
under,
as long as
they
it's-
get penalized. But
Okay, but so the aggregate weight
that's right.
is the total for the chance to win.
That's correct. And then we also have a separate big bass and a big cat tournament that they do on their own. It's like the fishermen do that on their own.
It's like a side pot, like they
Yeah.
put in like a $20 for
Right.
a little side bet.
Right. And we've seen catfish out there that's a couple feet long. I mean,
Yeah.
huge catfish. So that's another way we can raise money too with this.
And all
That's
that,
split the
100%, well,
Do you
the
have
fishermen
any
get 50% of that.
entertainment out there? Any food out there? Is it?
I'd say Chauncey is our entertainment.
We do have a vendor comes out and they do feed all the fishermen. They get a lunch, and
Really?
all the volunteers get a lunch. Yeah, we're hoping.
I'll definitely be there. I don't know if I'll be fishing, but I'll be there.
We hope you will be.
I'll be with bells on.
So we're hoping at this tournament maybe we'll get a little fancier food this year.
You know, again, the work that goes into this is amazing.
Well, I leave it so much to Brian, and there's a couple of gentlemen that have been there since the start. It's like they don't even have to think about it. They just do. They've perfected it over 24 years. That it's just a second nature.
You
to
guys
them.
have a great heart. That's all I can tell you. Doing what
Oh,
you're
it's
doing.
fulfilling to us. That's
Yes.
and
sorry?
I got to mention Mike Cap and Steve Friddle are the other guys. They couldn't be here tonight, but they're the guys at the station now. That
What's his name?
Steve Friddle and Mike Cap.
Okay.
They were in my shop with me, and there's other volunteers. I don't want
Sure.
to leave anybody out.
100%.
Right, no,
by
I get
but,
it.
But those are the guys. So when we get there in the morning, we get the fishermen out, and then we start setting up the stage. We got a stage up there, and we got a backboard where we write all the numbers for the weights down.
Really?
And then we got tents, big tents we put up for the food and stuff. We get all that stuff done. We go over to the kids' lake, and then we set up over there. We put the banners of the sponsors up. We got the microphone for Chauncey to call out the winners for the kids' tournament, and it's a
cool.
full day.
It really is.
I'm almost afraid to ask. What time does it start? It sounds like fishing starts early.
The official tournament kicks off at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay
So
then.
we're there about 4:30, 4:45.
Getting things ready.
Getting things ready, and the fishermen, like we stand in the road path into the lake area, and we register them as they're coming in.
Do you have a rain date?
We don't. No.
We've never
Well-
had to. Well,
Didn't we one year because of the winds? We had to do it the next day, wasn't it, or the next week?
So one time out of all the years we've had to move it, and that was almost maybe a couple days before because they were predicting it out. So we did move it to maybe the week after. But it's hard because they have tournaments scheduled throughout the whole summer at Braidwood.
Yeah, not
Right.
only do they have tournaments on the lake, but all the fishermen are
Right.
involved in other tournaments too. So trying to reschedule it affects.
tough.
Yeah.
So
affects
is
a
it
lot of
rain or
people.
shine?
Yep,
It
pretty
is.
much.
And there's
Well,
been
fishermen they fish in the rain, right?
Yep.
I've
Yeah.
seen that on TV.
Yep.
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 I'm not a fisherman, as you could tell.
Yeah,
You
no.
know, but I try it for the event.
You should. I've been there 12 years now, and I've gone dressed with like, ski pants on and winter hats, and then sometimes with like shorts and flip flops, and like it's been super hot. So
So give us the date.
it's Saturday, April 12th.
Saturday, April 12th. Then you get more information on your Facebook page too, right?
Yes. I don't have that. The Constellation. It's the personal or the company website. I don't have the exact address so that I can,
Well,
I can
we
get
can
that.
post that later
Yes.
after the show. Now, obviously, Braidwood the power plant has to really be behind you in what you're doing.
They could not be more behind us. Anything we need, they are more than happy, within reason, to
Right.
to help support. They love to giving back to charity.
I have never heard so many good things about an organization as I heard about the power plant. It's just an amazing group of people that run that facility. You know, I mean, when I went there, they took me in, what do they call that big round thing? In the center. It's like a big funnel. Is that where they split it?
Oh, are they talking about like
The reactor buildings?
Yes, they took me in there.
Okay.
And I could not believe the size of that thing.
Yeah.
You went on the turbine, looked on the turbine deck with, I thought.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, that place just goes and goes.
It does.
It is.
You know, when
It's a
we
little
walked from the
intimidating.
car to the inside of the facility, it was crazy. They just gave me that terrible 5-minute warning. So why don't you, again, I think it's important that we get out the date of the event, the time of the event, the location of the event, and where they can get more information and where they could donate.
So the date is April 12th, 2025, which is a Saturday. It starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. We've got a kids tournament that starts at 10:30 if they're interested in bringing their kids to that. You can contact myself, Carol.Ringler, Ringler, Carol, Carol, Carol.Ringler at Constellation.com, or call. My work number is 815-417-3755.
And we will put I'll have Ken, our computer guy, we'll have him put all that information on our website. So you'll be able to go to k9sd.org and you could find all this information on our website as well.
Sure.
Okay, and young man over here, I can't believe how active you are in this and how much effort you put into this. I mean, it takes a lot. It really does. Like you said, it takes a small army. You know, but you got a good crew here.
Yep. And I'll tell you another thing I gotta say too before we end. This isn't just about Brian and Carol. It's our families and our all the volunteers and their
God,
families.
yes.
And it's passed down in my case for 3 generations. My mom and dad used to come with me, and now I got my daughters. Now I got my granddaughters there.
Right, no,
so
I get it.
It's passed down, and it's just fulfilling for us.
You know,
just to be able to give back.
K9's been fortunate. We've got some amazing volunteers that just are so pro our veterans and just go above and beyond to help them. Our trainers, bar none, hands down, Kate is.
Oh, she's
she's
wonderful.
I mean, this girl, she takes everything she does to heart. She really does. She puts our veterans first before anything, and she'll never not take a call. You can call her 10 o'clock at night, she answers her phone. I mean, it's like, wow, you know. So, you know, thanking you is not enough for what you're doing for K9. When I tell you, with your donation, you are actually changing and saving the life of a veteran. And then what's good about it is that they know where it's coming from and they appreciate it. They understand the importance of organizations like yours doing what you're doing to help and support them. So,
We're thrilled. We are beyond thrilled.
and that was the first time you allowed dogs in the
Yeah.
plant, right?
Some of the other Constellation plants have had dogs, but yes, at Braidwood Station, and I don't know if the employees were more thrilled to see the veterans or the dogs. It was kind of 50-50 there.
You know,
But
and you were so gracious when we were there. You took us on a nice little tour. You provided lunch for us, which was great lunch, by the way. Thank you.
you're welcome.
We had a great time. You know, and it meant so much that our veterans actually see what you were doing to help us.
I think it was just as important for the employees because not the people that aren't actually out at the fishing tournament, they don't really get to meet the charities that we help out. By you coming to the plant, there's a nice video you guys showed.
Right.
We want the people to get behind canines, all the charities we choose, but
Well,
especially canine for next
I
year.
can't thank you both enough for doing what you're doing for our veterans. It means so much to them, and the effort, the amount of effort you put into this, and like you said, it takes a small army to get this pulled off. So God bless you, and thank you for what you're doing for not only our veterans but for all the other organizations that you're helping. I mean, it's just amazing. It really is. So God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being my
Thank you very
guest.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll look forward to April.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.